Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be sharing my recommendations for the Sephora holiday savings event. If you don't know about this big sale with Sephora, it happens twice a year. They have the spring savings event and the holiday savings event. This year it's just a couple of days early, and so the day that you're watching the video, the sale actually launches or starts tomorrow, Friday, October 28th. However, I'll kind of show you what I do so that if there's any hot ticket items, you don't miss out, because immediately when the sale starts, everything starts selling out very quickly, especially if you're rouge. And so we'll get into my recommendations and what I think you should do to make sure that you capitalize on the items that you really want to get. Okay, so thank you so much for clicking on my video. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Yadi. I like to talk about all things makeup. We talk a lot about indie makeup here, luxury makeup, sometimes drugstore makeup, Sephora makeup for sure, and just have a good time. I do some new reviews. I do some shop my stash as well as some get readies with me. If that's your thing, make sure and subscribe. Hit the like button. That really does help my channel out. And if you have any questions or recommendations for me and everybody else, leave them in the comments below. Okay, so back to the sale. It happens again, like I said, twice a year. It goes into 3 separate tiers. It really just depends on how much you spend. Anybody can be a part of the Sephora Insider program. You just have to sign up with your cell phone number and your email address, and you automatically qualify for the 10% off during the sale. If you spend up to, I think it's $750, $500 or $750, you go into the next tier. And that tier gets 15% off during the sale. And then if you spend over $1,000, which I'm shaking my head because that's always me, you're going to be considered VIP Rouge, and then you get 20% off during the sale. Now, in addition to having those different tiers for discounts, we get to shop the sale at different times. So for me, I'm VIP Rouge, so my sale starts tomorrow. A few days later, it's the next tier that will start and they can get to shopping. And then the last 4 or 5 days of the sale is when the lowest tier, or the VIP Insider, I think, gets 10% off, and they have 4 or 5 days to shop. Things sell out very quickly, you guys, especially things like that, especially very hot new releases, because people want to get their 20% off on launches that have just happened in the last 30 days or so. And so definitely, if you've been watching a lot of reviews on new products and you kind of have a wish list ready of what you want to buy, make sure and shop immediately as your tier opens up, because things sell out. So for instance, I'm VIP Rouge. My sale starts on the 28th. Well, what that actually means is 12:01 a.m. on the 28th. And so 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I live in the Central Standard Time zone, and so what I do when I have my wish list or my cart ready is at 11:01 p.m. I check out immediately, no questions asked. I don't even think about it. I check out because I know that if there's any hot ticket items in my cart, they're going to sell out immediately. Now, if you're not Rouge, don't worry about it, because those hot ticket items, they come back and forth. They'll sell out for the first couple days, then they replenish their stash and somebody else can grab them. And so what I would say is, if the item that you want is sold out currently, make sure and hit the email notification. And so as soon as it comes back in stock, Sephora will send you an email and you can log on and purchase that item right away. Yeah, so as you can see, it gets a little intense. People get a little crazy. It's kind of like the Hunger Games. A lot of the times, things like the Natasha Denona palettes or the Patrick Ta blush palettes, those sell out so quickly. A lot of Fenty products will sell out. Dior lippies will sell out, things like that. And so if that kind of sounds like some of the things in your cart, make sure and just keep an eye on that. One thing that I'd like to say before we get into all of the recommendations is, I did upload a video earlier talking about how to survive holiday releases, because I think a lot of us are feeling a little stressed about all the spending. The last 2 years as a country, we've spent so much money. And I think, we were locked up, bored, didn't know what to do, and so clearly a lot of us resorted to online shopping. But I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but it's been kind of a common theme in other Sephora wish lists or recommendation videos that I've seen is, number one, this video is not to encourage anybody to buy something that they weren't prepared to buy and, just were influenced. Okay, so I want you guys to watch it if you're in the market to shop the Sephora sale. If you'd like to hear, maybe you saw something on my thumbnail that you thought looked interesting and you want to hear a little bit more on my thoughts about it. But I would say that if you weren't planning on shopping the sale, definitely turn it off. Turn the video off. That's one of my recommendations on that video where I say, how do you survive the holiday sales? And don't binge watch these videos, because I know for me, they do influence me. And sometimes I get a little weak and just go for it. And so that's what I would say about that. Now, I also recognize that some people are shopping the sale and they want the recommendations. And I'm a creator, so I want to be able to give my thoughts and recommendations on the products I love. And that's why I've created the video. But if it's going to make you weak, if it's going to make you buy something you weren't planning on, just don't watch it. Don't watch any of these videos. You know, at the end of the day, I think that everybody has different goals, including myself. And I'll share a little bit of what's on my wish list. I am not shopping the sale like I've done in years past. And so I'll say that. I've also seen a lot of creators or other videos say like, definitely don't shop the sale if there's items in here that are with the higher end brands or the luxury brands. Not all luxury brands, but I'll explain. Brands like Pat McGrath, Natasha Denona, Nars, all of those brands are going to have bigger and better sales on their websites directly. And so I think that if you can wait a couple weeks, as soon as we get into November, these brands are going to start flooding your inboxes with flash sales and holiday sales that are going to be way better than what the 20% is with Sephora. And then if you're not rouged with Sephora, you definitely should wait, because you'll get a better deal on these individual websites. And so lastly, what I will tell you is that all of the products that I talk about today will be linked down below. Those links are affiliate links. So if you use those links, Sephora pays me, the creator, a little bit of a commission. It doesn't cost you anything, but what I will tell you is don't be afraid to use those links for any creator. Choose your favorite creator and use their links. During the holidays, this is where we can make a little bit more commission on the back end to support our channels, and it doesn't cost you anything. So like for Sephora specifically, if you click on my Sephora link below, it will take you to directly to Sephora. But if you're used to shopping on your phone or online, it will automatically open up your Sephora account with your information already on there, so that you don't miss out on your points. You want to make sure you get credit for the purchases you make with Sephora. So again, the link doesn't affect you in any way, but it does support the creator that you're using the link for. And so if you feel inclined, use the links below. If not, if you're watching another creator and that's your favorite creator, use their links, support their channel. It doesn't cost you anything. I do have a Sephora recommendations video featuring only Sephora collection products. And so I will definitely link that up here and down below so that you guys can check it out. I have a ton of really, really amazing Sephora collection products that I love so much. During the sale, for everyone, the entire length of the sale, those products are going to be 30% off. So they're already very, very well priced. Like their foundations are like $20. There's blushes that are $12, $15, and almost like drugstore prices, but during the sale, you get them 30% off. And so definitely go check out that video, because I give a ton of recommendations in that video. Today, I am going to focus on mostly the other higher end brands that Sephora carries. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go into my recommendations. I have a basket here. I'm not going to go in any particular order, but I do have a lot of stuff. So let's get into it and go through it as quickly as we can. The first two items in my basket are actually going to be palettes, not both eyeshadow palettes, but the eyeshadow palette that I would recommend is going to be this one by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I don't have a lot of her palettes, but I will tell you that this one is such a stunner, you guys. I shared it in my top 10 fall palettes and did a lot of swatches and showed you what this palette really looks like. I mean, what I can tell you and what I've heard from other reviews as well, pigment is on another level. The blendability, the quality of the shadow is so, so good. If you're into this kind of color story, I think you would like it. Some people thought it might be too light and that it would be a little chalky maybe, like if you're my complexion or deeper, but it really isn't. I've watched reviews for a lot of different skin tones. It comes off so beautiful. I think that the shimmers are like this yummy, buttery shimmer formula that I'm actually used to seeing more so on the indie side, but those are some of the shimmers there. And they just look, I just am barely touching my hand when I swatch these. They're just wonderful glorious shimmers, very luxurious feeling shimmers, and I just really, really enjoy it. Even this purple here that I think is where people thought, oh, it might get a little chalky or whatever. It really isn't. It's such a beautiful shade, and I think it's in the way that they formulated this purple. This happened a couple years ago with the Natasha Denona Trio Chrome palette. A lot of us immediately were put off by the color story because we thought it might look ashy on us if we were, again, my complexion or deeper. And what we found is that they were just formulated so well that it came off really nice and grungy looking and just blended into your skin so beautifully, like the colors in that palette. That's what happens with this purple. I absolutely love it. And then we can go pretty dark and deep quickly with this palette. So there's the deepest chocolate brown there, but I have used this so much. I have never filmed with it during that time. I wasn't able to film too much. So I'd love to know if you guys want like a 1 week, one palette with this, because it is so beautiful. And it's going to be actually the only eyeshadow palette recommendation for the Sephora sale, because it's that good and I love it so much. The next palette that I recommend, and then when I open it, you're going to be like, wait, what? Why are you recommending it? But it's going to be the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette. This is in the deep version or the dark version, but it's beautiful. It has a blush, a highlight, and then like a mini Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette, basically. The reason why I can't open it all the way is that highlighter just completely busted on me, but it's a beautiful highlighter. But honestly, the reason why I love this, it's just a great palette to travel with. The looks, you guys, these browns are so delicious, so good. Sometimes they say that like if it's in a larger palette like this one, like a multi-use palette, or even the mini palettes, that the quality is less than the midi size palette. I disagree with this one specifically. It is just absolutely wonderful. And these browns, oh my God, for the fall, every single time I do an eye look with this palette, I just feel like pretty. Like I feel like my look is so put together. The browns bring out, you know, kind of like the specks, the ember specks in my eyes. Like it's just so good. The quality is amazing. The shimmers are wonderful. There's one of the shimmers there. Here's one of the mattes. They're all going to be like the regular mattes. They're not going to be the cream to powder that she has in her midi palettes, but so yummy, so good. This is just one swipe of both of them. Look at that. It is so delicious. I think it might be like 65 or 69 for this palette. So definitely not a cheap palette, which you want to get during the sale if you can get 20% off. Okay, moving on to powder. I have to mention, because these are like my everyday staple. These are going to be the Dior Powder No Powder. I have two shades, as you can see. One that mimics my skin tone and the other one's a bit darker. I have the shade 3N and 6N, and these powders, oh my gosh, they have become staples, everyday staples in my routine, because, and I've heard, who is it? I think Samantha March, she'll say this. She's like, it doesn't matter what your makeup looks like. If it looks like crap, your complexion looks horrible, the foundation is nasty, it doesn't work for you. You use this powder over that and it makes everything okay again. I mean, it's such a perfecting powder. It's like a baked gelée formula. And so sometimes when you're using your brush, it almost feels like you're not picking anything up. That's how light and microfine the powder is. But it's just very perfecting over the skin. And I've been using it daily since I got it. One thing that I will tell you though, I found this through another creator that had said this, is sometimes with the brush, it looks nice for a little while and then the blurring and the perfecting kind of goes away. Well, the two products that were made to work with one another are going to be the Dior Powder and the Beauty Blender Micro Puff or Power Pocket Puff. This thing is so good, you guys. It's a velour material, and it's kind of got like a little sponge in here, but you just kind of pop your fingers through it, and I like to grab my powder and just press, and it creates the most beautiful canvas. It lasts all day. I still do get oily because I have oily skin type, but it just makes your makeup, your foundation look so natural, so pretty, so perfecting. This is like magic, but with this, it takes it to another level. Now, I do use the shade 6N, so I jumped up 3 shades, and I use this to set my cream bronzer. bronzer, because sometimes I was going in with a cream bronzer and then a powder bronzer, and I just didn't like how it just looked like more makeup on top of more makeup. And so this again is so skin-like, and so I'll use the shade 6N to set the cream bronzer or contour, and it just looks so pretty and natural. I have it on right now, and it's just, it doesn't look like anything crazy. If I touch my skin, it doesn't feel like I have anything on, and I just really like it. So, I mean, maybe just something to consider. For loose powder, oh, I love it, love it, love it, love it. I love it so much, you guys. I hate that it's a luxury brand, but I don't care because I love it that much. It's the Givenchy Prisme Libre powder. This is in the shade... This is in the shade number 4, Mussolini something. And what it is it comes with 4 different shades for color correcting, for brightening, and just for overall setting. And you just kind of, you know, shift it around, and then you pour it out. And there's a little powder puff that's in there, and you just press it into the skin. Press it into the skin. It creates the most beautiful, beautiful canvas. Oh, I just cannot stress enough how beautiful this powder is. I think it was the last sale. I asked my friend here on YouTube, I said, do I really need it? Like, you're always talking about it. Do I need it? And she was like, girl, stop playing around. Just get it. That's how beautiful it is. And it's so true. I told my sister the same thing. She got it. She loves it. It is phenomenal, you guys. I really want to try the foundation because I hear really good things about that too, but this powder is worth every penny. Let's talk bronzers next. I have a cream and I have a powder. The cream one, I didn't think I would like it this much, but it released during the time that the Charlotte Tilbury cream bronzer came out too. And I went with the Nars because I just liked the tone of it. I have mine in the shade Laguna 02. It's the original, and it's a bronzing cream. And as you can tell, let's see here. As you can tell, there's like a pretty good healthy dip in there because I use it quite a bit. It is just, it's subtle and it glides on the skin. I've tried it with a sponge or a brush, many different styles of brushes, and it always just goes on really nice and even. I sometimes get worried, you know, that it's going to skip or whatever. It never ever does. I have put it directly on top of the skin over foundation, and I've also put it on top of the skin over foundation that has been set with powder, and it still works beautifully. I highly, highly recommend this bronzing cream. I have others that I have kind of compared it to, like the Westman Atelier and the Chanel, for instance. I have a couple drugstore ones, and this one is still always the same. It's not super emollient or super creamy. It's like a cream to powder formula, and so it's a little bit drier. Maybe that's what I like about it, because I do have oily skin, but the tone is just so beautiful, and then it just kind of just blends really, really nicely to nothing. I mean, it's not going to give you like the crazy harsh contour unless you really target it with it, but I'll use a bigger brush like this, and then you just very, very lightly just pat, pat, pat. I don't like swipe with it, and it just blends out so nicely. So I really, really have enjoyed this one. Again, I really don't go through a lot of products, and so when I'm starting to see dips in products, that means that I really like it. My bronzer collection, I mean, I think I have like over 30 or 40 bronzers. So if I'm dipping into something that much to make a difference, it's really good. The other one that I think I'm starting to get pretty close to pan, pretty close. We're not quite there yet, but it's going to be my Gucci bronzer. This one's in the shade 03. I wish I had a 02 as well for the winter, because it can be a little warm during the winter, but it is the most beautiful, delicious formula, you guys. I was watching, who was it? Oh, Emily's makeup bag, and she was like, I really want it. I've thought about it. What do you guys think? And I had to comment and say, girl, I promise you it is worth every single dollar. It is so good. It just, I don't know. It just makes everything look so smooth. On days that I like to use this on days that I don't use cream bronzer. When I use the Nars, I always said it with the Dior. It's such a beautiful combination. That's what I have today. If I'm in a rush and I'm just doing powder, or if I'm doing powder foundation, this is always going to be the one that I go to. And I do like to switch my stuff around, because if I don't intentionally get it out of like my daily makeup basket, I will use it every day because it's that good. And I've heard others say like, no, like I've hit pan on that thing, because they use it daily. They don't even mess around with anything else. And it's just really good. I highly recommend it. It is a luxury priced item, but 20% off, 15% off, even 10% off is good, because what you're going to find with the luxury products like this, like Gucci, Dior, Chanel, products like that don't go on sale on their website like other brands like Pat McGrath do. And so if you can get 20 or 15% off of this, I would say go for it. I guess we can go into concealers. Again, not going in any particular order, but before I start talking about concealers and the ones that I highly recommend, I have to go in with a color corrector. I had kind of resisted the color corrector for quite some time. And then when I started using it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense, because this is such a light and thin formula, and it automatically corrects the under eye, but then it allows for you to use less concealer. And so what I'll do is I'll correct under the eye, and then I'll only use concealer like in this area where there's the most darkness, or here where my eye socket is starting to dip in. And it just makes it so nice. This is Charlotte Tilbury in the shade 2 medium, and it's such a good color corrector, you guys. I've tried many at the drugstore, because this is a pricier item, of course, and I just haven't found one that's as good as this one. And so I really recommend this. If you have any darkness under the eye, if you just kind of want to make it look more even and flat, you know, highlighting, which in a way concealer and corrector is a form of highlighting. What it does is it projects that area of your face forward. And so two things: you want to have the right formula so you don't have creasing and it doesn't look crazy under the eye, but also you want to bring out this part. As we get older, our eyes start to sink in a little bit. I know mine are, and this helps to make it look very flat and very beautiful, flawless, because we're projecting that area of our face. So I love this for that. And then the two concealers that I would recommend, and I think a lot of people might have this in their recommendations, is going to be the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer. I'm in the shade 4.1 Graham Cracker, and it's just beautiful, you guys. Believe it when people tell you that it's nice. It's a really, really nice formula. It's thin. I do get quite a lot of coverage out of this. I don't know that it's like full coverage like the Pat McGrath, for instance, but I don't really want that or need it. And so this is perfect for me. It's like a good medium, almost full coverage. And it's so beautiful. It doesn't crease. I do set it. I set most of my concealers, but it is absolutely gorgeous. It's like they call it a luminous matte. And I was confused at first, but that's literally what it is. It's a little bit of luminosity that comes through, but in the most flattering way for the under eye. And I think she did so good with this formula. It's so pretty. The next concealer is so beautiful. I'd wanted to try it for so long, and I got it the last sale actually. And it's the Lancome Tinted Doll Concealer. They also say that this one's like a full coverage, and although it gives me really great coverage that I love, I don't know that it's full coverage. I don't feel like it is, compared to other full coverage concealers that I have. But what I can tell you is that, again, the formula is very, very thin, and it's so, so beautiful under the eye. Like, I can't stress that enough. I have a lot of great concealers here in front of me, most of them purchased at Sephora, but when I think of like my top concealer, I do have to go with this one. My second one would be this Huda Beauty. And this Huda Beauty, the consistency is creamier, really, really beautiful. It's a little luminous. This one is just a thin formula, but it just covers so beautifully. I don't think it's full coverage. I think it's the right perfect coverage to cover anything, but it's not going to make you look like cake face or, baby doll that has absolutely no flaws on your face. Not at all. It just helps make it look nicer, make it look perfected. I really like this one. All right, let's get into primers. I have 3 that I wanted to share with you that I really like. And the first one's going to be the Milk Makeup. This is one that came out just a few months ago. I had purchased this and then I just didn't really think I liked it. And you know, it's a mattifying primer, but when you take it out, it feels kind of like a gel or very lotiony almost. And I just didn't feel like it was working. And so I kind of just put it to the side. And then I went back and I tried it again. And so what I think I was doing wrong is that I usually do my eyeshadow first, and then I will put on the primer and then quickly do the foundation because I'm in a rush during the mornings. But what I noticed is that with this one, you have to put it on and then let it set for 1 to 3 minutes, and then you start to feel the mattifying effect on your skin. But it's like soft focus, and you never look like super dry, super matte throughout the day, but it controls the oils really well throughout the day. And so this is actually a very, very effective primer. So sometimes, you know, making me think that first impressions sometimes are not always on point. That's the case with this one, and I do recommend it if you have oily skin. During the winter, you know, I'm more oily in the T-zone, as opposed to everywhere, like during the summer. So I will only use this in my T-zone, and it looks beautiful. The next primer that I want to talk about, I actually only have a mini and it's all gone. It's the Rare Beauty Pore Diffusing Primer. I think I paid 15 bucks for it, 15-ish maybe. It's so pretty. It's also, I think you're gonna see a theme with the last primer I talk about too. It's mattifying and it's pore diffusing, but it's not like aggressively drying. Like there's some matte products that will like suck the oil, suck the life out of you. This one doesn't do that. It's a little more silicone-y than the Milk Makeup. This is just a straight up gel. So this is more like a silicone primer, but it's so beautiful. I have tried it with many, many different foundations, and it always looks really good. And so I really recommend it. I'm a little stuck because I'm out, but I don't know because I'm out of the next one. So I don't know. I'm not going to buy all 3 primers. So I have to decide which one I'll get. But the next one that I recommend is the Vanish, the Hourglass Vanish primer, the airbrush primer. You guys, you can kind of see the streaks in there because it's all gone. It's so, so pretty. Oh my goodness. The reason I'm excited about it is because I had tried the Hourglass Mineral Veil primer that everybody raves about. That one looks horrible on my skin no matter what. I've tried it a few different times. It just destroys anything that I put on after it. This one is the absolute opposite. It is so beautiful. It's also going to be more of like that gel consistency like the Milk Makeup primer. And it just makes my skin look so beautiful, but it's that soft focus look. It's going to make everything look so beautifully airbrushed. I mean, it's called the airbrush primer, but that's how I can explain it. It's going to give a very soft focus look to the face. And it's also going to mattify a little bit. It's going to diffuse the pores a little bit. It doesn't, you know, say that it will do all that, but it's just really good for people with normal skin, normal to oily or combination. You're going to love this. And then coming from somebody with oily skin, it doesn't quite mattify me the way that I love, but during the winter, it's going to be beautiful. But if you have like normal or combination skin, you are going to be obsessed with this. Everybody that I've heard talk about this primer just goes nuts. A while back, I wanted to try the Tom Ford Soft Matte Primer. I think that's what it was called. And I actually purchased it and it was $88. And I compared it to this one. And I have to say shamelessly, like I returned it and I didn't even feel bad. I was like, nope. Like this one looks a little bit prettier than the Tom Ford one. And it's at a better price point. You know, it's still very pricey, but not as much as the Tom Ford. And my recommendation is this one. It's so beautiful. Let's talk about setting spray real quick. You guys know how obsessed I am with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless setting spray. I'm actually all out. So I may get one, and I'll tell you why I may or may not get one, but this one's so good. Like literally nothing works better than this setting spray. I dare you to try it. I dare you to challenge me. I promise you it's so good. They have a really cute holiday gift set where you get like a full size and then 2 minis. And then you can buy the mini, you can buy the tall one. The tall one's $35, this one's $20, I think. But it's just wonderful. I mean, it says Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, party all night, stay all day. I mean, seriously, if it can handle my oily skin in very hot, humid Texas weather, you know it's good. But it's not drying. I don't even think it has alcohol. I'm pretty sure I've looked at this before. It doesn't even have alcohol. So how do they do it? I don't know, but it's so good. The next two are foundations. One I have recommended time and time again, and it hasn't changed. I mean, there's another top foundation, but it's not sold at Sephora, that I will share at the end of the year for the best of beauty products. But the one foundation that no matter what time of year, no matter what skin type, because I've researched it quite a bit, this is going to be a staple for anybody that's so skin-like. It is humidity resistant, oil resistant, I mean everything resistant. It's life proof and I love it. And it's the Dior Backstage foundation. I love the spray one too, the Dior Air Flash. That one's really great during the summer. A little drying during the winter, I find, but this one is just beautiful natural coverage all day. You shake it up, and I actually go in with my fingers, and I may go in with a sponge afterwards, maybe not. It is one of those that almost even feels like a tinted moisturizer to me because it's so easy to apply. It's pretty much error proof, and you can build it up, so I like that. So sometimes I'll go in with a really light layer, just really quick to go to the soccer game, whatever. If I'm going somewhere or to an event or whatever, you can build it up, and it does go from like sheer to medium to almost full coverage, depending on how you build it up, but it's just foolproof. You won't regret it if you buy this one. The next foundation I actually purchased by error the last sale because I was looking for the Lancome Tinted concealer, and I happened to get this one instead, and I didn't open the box. And it's the Lancome Tinted Ultra Wear Foundation Stick, and it looks like this. And it is so pretty, you guys. I used half of it last winter. This was a year ago when I purchased it, but I will be using it quite a bit during this winter because it's a little bit of a lighter shade, and it looks like a weird shade actually. It looks like a little chalky, a little bit light, and I was even concerned about that. But when you put it on, I love to use this with my BK Beauty 101. You put it on and you just like work it into the skin, and it almost has like that matching technology. Now, they're not claiming that it does, but I'm telling you in my experience, that's what I've seen, because sometimes I just get so anxious to use it during the summer when I have a little more color, and it still kind of works for me. You know, I'll do a little more bronzer, but it's such a good formula, you guys. It is so pore diffusing. You don't even have to set it. I don't set it in the winter, which is huge, but I don't set it in the winter. And powder, creams, anything goes over it beautifully. I mean, I don't ever hear anybody talk about the stick foundation, which is why I was so confused when I opened the box last time and I didn't have my concealer in there, but it's beautiful. I can't use the Tinted Doll, the Multi Glow or the Healthy Glow, or the Tinted Doll 24-hour wear. They don't work for my skin. My skin doesn't like that formula, either formula, but this foundation stick is so pretty. If you like something simple on the go, I highly recommend this one. Okay, we'll do one more face product that I think you should know about, and then we'll go into some more colorful, like fun stuff. But I actually bought this from the cosmetics company store last year. It was on sale. This thing was still like 75 or 80 bucks. I don't remember, but it's the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I have oily skin, like I said, but during the winter, I get dry in the perimeters of my face, and even sometimes like around my nose, you know, it just happens. This is so beautiful, you guys. I actually used it. We're in October, so in Texas, it's still kind of hot, but I used it like a week or two ago because I was using a more like full coverage foundation, and I really wanted to prep my face well so that it didn't dry out in certain areas and whatnot. And so I went in with this, and I'm still not ready to use it because I'm still producing oils, but as soon as it gets a little bit colder, maybe in the next few weeks, I'm gonna pull this out because it's so good. And you only need a little bit, and so you don't even need a primer or anything. You just need a little bit, and you just kind of dot it around the face and then just go in with it, and it preps your skin. I mean, your skin feels like, I don't know, like butter, like a cinnamon roll, like a juicy, like a creamy, gooey, ooey cinnamon roll. It just preps your skin in the nicest way. Your makeup stays put. It doesn't slip and slide around. It's not so oily or emollient that it's going to break your foundation down. It makes it just the perfect amount of tacky or sticky to have the foundation really adhere to the face. This is like a wonder product, and it's not like a regular moisturizer. It literally is to prep your skin for foundation, and I love it. Love it, love it. Next, I want to talk about blushes, and I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different brands, but it'll go really quick. For cream blushes, what I am going to recommend is the Rare Beauty blushes. This was in the full size, and this is in the shade Believe. And it's so pretty. I'm sure you've heard of this, but if you haven't, you guys, first of all, you get like half an ounce. It's a shit ton of product. It's a very pigmented, like that little dot is probably enough. I mean, it just kind of, it's very pigmented and it blends out so nicely. I always like to put it in the back of my hand, and then I go in with a brush and then just kind of stipple and then go into my face. I never dot my face spot like straight on. I've learned my lesson. It's just so pigmented, and a tiny little bit goes a long way. This is a lot. I think it's like 20 bucks, and it's a lot of product. I did see that they have a really cute holiday gift set that has 3. So it has a full size and then 2 smaller minis, like a discovery set. So I think I like that better. That might be 25 or 30 bucks, but you get 20% off or whatever your percentage is to try other shades, because this is the only one I have. And I haven't purchased another one because it's so much product. Like, I'll never ever finish this. And so the formula is beautiful. The next cream blush that I just love so much is the Merit cream blushes. I have 2 shades. This one's in the shade Mood, and this is actually my most used cream blush. Look at this, especially for the fall. It is the most beautiful color. The formula, look at how pretty that is. The formula is so good, and do you see that sheen there? It gives like a nice healthy glow, luminosity to the skin, and it's so long lasting on its own. Most cream blushes, people tell you to set that with a powder blush. I will sometimes set it, but sometimes I don't. And when I forget to, it goes nowhere. I don't have to set it. It will literally last all day. I've even had situations where I use a cream blush, set it with a powder blush, and I still don't have anything at the end of the day because I have long days. With this one, I don't have to set it, and it does last all day long. And you got like, you have that pretty sheen where just every time your face moves a certain way, it just kind of glows a little bit. These blushes are so good. They sent both of these to me in PR with some other products, but that was like last year that I got that PR package, and I still use these almost on the daily. So good. The next blush, I don't know why I resisted it so much, and I just would see it. It was so gorgeous, and people said great things, and then I still wouldn't buy it. And then I went in and I bought a mini. Like, I don't know what my problem was, but I'm talking about the new Benefit blushes that they released earlier this year. This is in the shade Shelly. This is the only one that really called out to me, and it's in this kind of boxy little packaging that we've seen from them before, but this is the shade here. It's like, I guess it's like corally or pinky or in between that, and it kind of looks like nothing, you know, when you try to swatch it. But on the skin, it looks so pretty. And I've seen people use it that were like a little bit deeper than me, and it still looks really good. The formula is like a satin formula, so it just is very smoothing and flattering on your cheeks. I actually have it on today, so I have it on, but I did go in with my Mood first. So I had to, but it's so pretty, and it's just a neutral blush, and it just works with a lot of different skin tones. So I'm really, really enjoying this, and I don't feel a need to buy another color. This was the color that I wanted, and I feel like it'll work all year if I wanted to. The next blush formula that I have to recommend, because it's so good. I can't stop using them. I'll go through periods where I don't use them as much, and then when I pull them back out and I start going through all the colors, I think I have 5 colors, I just remind myself like, oh my gosh, this is just a beautiful formula. And I'm talking about the Pat McGrath blushes. This is in the shade Cherish. I love this color. Again, such a neutral pink blush. It doesn't look too pink on the cheeks. You can build it up or tone it down. It's so pretty. They have two formulas. They have a matte blush and the demi matte. I think this is the satin one. Yeah, this might be the satin finish, but it's so good. The formula is beautiful. They're pigmented. They last all day, and I highly recommend. Now, what I'm going to tell you, though, is, again, like I mentioned earlier, for the Natasha Denona Glam Palette and this, their websites have way better sales. Mother Pat is known for having an amazing killer Black Friday sale, up to 40% off sometimes. If you're going to buy something Pat McGrath, wait for the sale. But this blush I wanted to recommend because it's so good. The next two I talked about very extensively in my Sephora collection video. I did a full face of Sephora collection products, so go check that out if you're into those products. But I think you should be into those products because everything in that video is freaking good. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to these two shades here, Fascinated and Hate Jealousy. Hate Jealousy? Oh, I didn't even know that's what it was called. Okay. So Fascinated and Hate Jealousy. These two are so pretty. I think people were like kind of comparing them to the ones that came out from Dior, the pink and the orange that we could never get because they were always sold out. But those are the shades there. The formula is so pretty, you guys. I mean, I don't know where I heard this, but I know it's true. Like Sephora collection products, they're made in the same lab or have the same owners as like Estee Lauder. Those brands, it's like the same family of companies. So they have like access to the same labs. Look at those. Ugh. And it's the same like satin formula. Like I was saying, like the demi matte or the satin formula from Pat McGrath. It doesn't give a sheen because I feel like the Shelly sometimes gives a little bit of a sheen. It doesn't give a sheen, but it looks like silk on the skin. It looks like nothing. Like it feels like nothing. Really awesome. I think these blushes are $12 or $15, but during the sale, all Sephora collection, 30% off. But I wanted to share these two shades because they're beautiful. I haven't tried like their bronzer in this line, but I heard it's really good too. All right, let's talk mascaras really quick. Last year, my recommendation was for the Pat McGrath Dark Star Mascara. I still love this mascara, but I'm gonna wait because I wanna buy it from her site. And I wanna buy the blue one, I think. I think I want the blue. For sure, the blue, maybe the red, but the two mascaras that I wanted to share and shout out is going to be the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Lashes Volume 2. It's so good, you guys. I do use a lash primer, but that primer and this are literally magic. And so I want to get another one of these. I may wait for the Charlotte Tilbury sale, but I have to get another one and I wanted to shout it out. And then the one that I think is exclusive to Sephora is going to be Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara. I had this mascara for a really long time and I used it once and I was like not impressed, you know, but I think my lashes were not as healthy at that time. And then I've also been religious about my lash serum. And then for whatever reason, I had never noticed what this brush actually looks like. So do you see how the bristles are different from the top versus the bottom of the brush? This is set up, this is the top that I'm talking about. It's kind of set up so that you take that area of the brush and you go deep into the root of the lash and you start to brush. And it gives it this little oomph, this little curl. Like it looks like my lashes are always curled. They never go down. They are like, it's like a magic mascara. And once I go in there and I really use that area of the brush to lift at the root, then I'll go in with like the more full side of the mascara wand and then do the lashes and it'll give it length and volume. It's genius. I don't think they market it that way, or maybe I didn't know, but I think that if people understood this brush, they would understand the power of this mascara. It makes your lashes look like false lashes. No joke. I just love it. So it's going to be this little thin part at the top that you go right up the root of the base of the lash. And then the little full side of the brush is what goes in to really build it up. So this mascara, I understand the hype. Some people hype it, some people don't, but this mascara is a good one. They do have like a gift set with a mascara discovery package where you get like 5 mascaras. And I think this one's in there. But if you are not about that and you just want and you just want one good mascara, I would highly recommend this one. Let's continue with the eye area. I recently went back to my Goof Proof pencil, precisely my brow pencil, sorry, by Benefit. This one's kind of a cult classic. Everybody loves this, and I hadn't used it in a while, and I went back to it, and I was like, oh, of course, it is that good. It is that good. I go between this one, the ABH, and the NYX one, but this one's so good. It's just the right amount of creamy. It always pays off perfectly. You can really get like very thin strokes and fill in your brows. I have pretty sparse brows, so it's just a great pencil, honestly. You get a spoolie at the end. I mean, it's wonderful. I'm in the shade 4, and so it's the perfect dark brown pencil. I love it. The next one that I can recommend for the brows is going to be this one, the Urban Decay Waterproof Pencil Plus Ink Stain, and it's called the Brow Blade. I still have it in the box because I have one open, but I'll go between this one and, let me show you. I'll go between this one and NYX. There's people that don't like NYX for some reason, but I like it. It's the same thing. If you want to save money, buy the NYX. It's the same thing. But if you're at Sephora and for whatever reason you don't buy NYX, you don't want to buy NYX, the Brow Blade is the higher end alternative, and it's wonderful. The only thing I will tell you is that they're both great. They both last a really, really long time. The NYX lasts longer than this one, but the packaging on this is kind of and it will leak sometimes. It will leak sometimes, and the Urban Decay has never done that to me. I'm in the shade Dark Drapes, and I always buy one at the sale because I just go through them. I love them. The next one I may or may not have talked about before, but it's also from Benefit, and it's the Roller Eyebrite Pencil. I have not purchased one of these in a couple years. I mean, I purchased the last one like 2 years ago. That's how long it lasts, and I use this almost every day if I'm not using like a color eyeliner in the waterline. It's like a bone colored pencil, but it's supposed to brighten the lower waterline, make your eyes look more awake, brighter, you know, bushy-tailed, all the things. But it's really good. It will, I mean, I just said it and it's already like not budging. It doesn't budge. Even if you have like watery eyes, I get allergies sometimes. It does not budge. It stays bright all day long, and I just really like this formula. It's so good. I tried the Patrick Ta in the same shade, like this bone color shade, because I had heard somebody say like, oh, these won't move from your waterline. I can't even get it to pay off on my waterline. I can get it to pay off on my hand, but it won't pay off in the waterline. And I think sometimes my eyes are watery or I have allergies, and it doesn't work. This one always, no matter what, works. So I recommend the Benefit one. Lip products are hard, you guys. I have so many lip products, but my favorite lip formulas are going to be indie, really. And so, but I will tell you, because I used this one today, that I do love this matte formula. And anytime that I want to do like a bold red lip, this is the formula that I go with because it stays comfortable. It doesn't get dry or cracked or anything like that. And it is the Nars formula. This is what these look like. Well, I have 2 more here, but I have like 4 more put away somewhere. But like, these are really, really good. This one's like more than halfway done. So, you know, I use these. I like them. They're comfortable. And I mean, it's not a new product, so I don't hear people talk about it that much, but I really enjoy them. They're always foolproof. I think I've had this lipstick on for maybe 4 hours, and it doesn't feel dry. It doesn't feel like it's cracking. I don't feel uncomfortable like I need to like put on a lip balm or anything like that. I do recommend these a lot. The last product that's not skincare is going to be the Sephora Daily Refresh. I wanted to put it here even though it is in my Sephora video because I've heard a lot of people recommending the Cinema Secrets brush cleaner. That one's great, and it's good for daily spot cleaning of your brushes. So you should wash your brushes once a month or every couple weeks. I don't know. I never wash my brushes, but I spot clean them every day, and this is a really good one. I have a mixture of synthetic and natural haired brushes, and so with the Cinema Secrets, kind of noticed that it would dry out my brushes, but this one doesn't. It has like a conditioner in it, and I don't know what it has, but it really, really works. So it has lemon, grapefruit, and tea tree oil to cleanse, condition, and protect your brushes for extended use. It's perfect for sensitive skin, and it's quick drying and alcohol free. So that's probably why it's not drying out my natural haired brushes. But what I can tell you is, like, even if I have that one perfect brush that I want to use for multiple colors, I will spray it, swatch it on like my microfiber towel, and it's instantly dry. So if you don't have a lot of brushes and you rely on that one special brush to get in the corner or whatever, this is the perfect thing to have. I think it's like $12, but you get 30% off during the sale. And it does a really good job. Like, I'll never pay the price for the Cinema Secrets anymore because this is so good. Okay, I have just a few items for skincare. I don't have a lot. But I wanted to talk through some of it. A lot of the skincare that I recommend is going to be in the Sephora collection video, so go check that out. But there's a couple things that I must share with you. Like, it would be a disservice not to share with you because I know how good they are. And I'll start with something that I recently shared on my TikTok and Instagram, but it's going to be this Vegamore line. I bought this Vegamore serum, I think at the last sale. No, I bought it after the sale, but this is my third bottle. It's the Vegamore Grow Hair Serum. I lost a lot of hair after COVID last year, and I mean bad, you guys. Like, everything was just so white. All you would see was white. Do you see all of this little fuzz here? This is all because of this serum, okay? And I have new hair growth everywhere. And I did take the Nutrafol supplements for a long time prior to this, even before I got COVID. And I stopped for about 4 months, and then I started this. So I know that the results that I've seen are because of this, but I have to tell you a quick little story because it's crazy. I started using the serum, and then maybe 4 or 5 days later, I was washing my face and I start to feel like a lot of little bumps, and I'm like, since when? Since when do I have a bunch of blackheads? That's literally what I thought. I'm like, a bunch of blackheads all around the perimeter. And so I was done washing my face and I grab a tweezer and I go to pull one of the blackheads out. And when I pulled it out, I realized, oh my God, I had just pulled out a baby hair. And I started looking closely. I had so many little bumps. It looked like I don't know, like I had the chills or something, because there's so many little bumps here of hair growing. And look at this. This is all from the Vegamore. And this is it's still a little bit, sparse, but it's growing. Like, I have baby hairs everywhere. And so when I noticed those differences with just the serum, I went in and I got the shampoo, and I love it. This is the revitalizing shampoo. It's Restore, Retain, Renew. So basically what it's going to do, it has vegan silk proteins that smooth and strengthen damaged hair cuticles. But also what it does is it's going to restore volume, leave shine without clogging your pores, because that's what happens with some hair loss. We're using so many products. I know I use dry shampoo a lot, that it starts to clog your the pores, or the scalp, where the hairs are growing out. And so that follicle will kind of die off because it's overwhelmed with so much buildup. So this kind of takes care of that. You wash your hair, you leave it on for 60 seconds, and then you wash it off. You want the phytoactives to kind of penetrate and get working on your scalp, but it's so good. I do have the conditioner too, and it says to use it from the scalp all the way to the bottom, but I have oily hair, and what I can tell you is that it makes it really silky, really smooth. It doesn't make it oily, but it's still weird for me to put conditioner on my scalp. I don't do that. So even though it's really nice, if you have dry hair, I would recommend it. But for sure, the shampoo and the serum, so good, you guys. Losing your hair is horrible. It's not easy. It's so embarrassing, and you just feel helpless because there's nothing you can do. And I'm telling you, I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. This is my third bottle. I'm going to buy another one. There's no way I can be without this, because I have seen such a dramatic difference in my hair. So if nothing else, this is just a absolutely miraculous product. The next one that I want is my Sol de Janeiro Beija Flor Elastic Cream. This is the Boom Boom cream, but it's the new Beija flower one. Look at that. I'm out, you guys. I love it so much. I heard somebody say that this was not like very moisturizing. I don't believe that. Like, I love this stuff. It keeps my legs really nice and moisturized. I use it with another Neutrogena lotion, but it's like a body spray and a cream in one, because it's got such a beautiful scent and you have it all over your body. So I really like this one. The next one is one that I bought last year during the winter season and I need it again. It's going to be the Fresh Rose Deep Hydration Oil Infused Serum. So it is like an oil, but it is like a water. I mean, but I don't know. It's so beautiful, you guys. It does have that signature like rose scent, but it's light because I have oily T-zone during the winter, but it really, really moisturizes like my skin. I love this stuff so much. It's very calming. So after you wash your face, especially if you use like the chemical exfoliants, this is going to be really calming and I love it. I went through it so quickly though. I mean, I haven't used it all summer, but I started using it again like a week or two ago and I'm like, eesh, I need it. It's so beautiful. And it's really going to just moisturize and calm the skin down and help, you know, with irritation from the winter or dryness. Like I don't get any dry patches or anything during the winter. And I think some of it is this for sure. The next recommendation, one that I love and that I think I haven't talked about much. Is it coming up in a video? I don't remember, but it's the Drunk Elephant Retinol Oil. It's called A Glowy Retinol Oil. It's supposed to clear and smooth the skin. It's like a retinol, but it's in an oil form. And I think they have their maracuja oil that this is mixed with, and it's just beautiful. So it's 0.5% retinol, suggested use morning or night. I don't do that. I only use it at night. And sometimes I'll mix it in with my moisturizer and it's just so nice. I still treat this as a retinol, so I only use it like 3 times max during the week so that I don't get too irritated or dry from the retinol. But it's a really nice alternative during the winter so that you continue your retinol, but you don't get the dryness and the cracking and the peeling and everything that happens with retinols. Love this stuff. The next one I know I've never talked about, and it's so good. And this is from The Ordinary. It's a caffeine solution that reduces the appearance of eye contour pigmentation and puffiness. I have been like, this is twice a day, every day, you guys. And I think it's like halfway. You only need a little bit, but it's so good. I don't remember how much I paid for it, like maybe $10 or $15, but it's wonderful. I have shared with you guys, I haven't gotten Botox in maybe 6 months now, and I don't feel like I'm quite there, like I need it. And I feel like this is it. I mean, you know your skin, you know your face, and when you introduce new products, you can kind of tell for sure within 3 to 4 weeks if that product made a difference. And I can tell you that this stuff is really, really good. I use it in the morning and at night, use it as my eye serum, go in with an eye cream after that, and I really am liking it. I don't see anything deep around my eyes. There's some lines that are just normal because I'm 40 plus, honey, but they still look refreshed and they look good. I really like this gel. The Ordinary is one of those very clean, simple skincare brands that are really low priced at Sephora, so I would recommend it. The next product is kind of a splurge, but I love it. I used to buy this no matter what on the regular, but their packaging was so horrible. It was like a dropper and it was really hard to get the last of the product out, so I stopped buying it for a while. And then they sent me this. It's the Algenist collagen serum. It's a liquid collagen and it's got like a bunch of little bubbles there. They go into the whole science of it and why it's encapsulated and all that. There's people that say that there's no benefit to having collagen used on the skin. It doesn't help. Collagen should come from within. I just know that it's really, really good for my skin. It makes it look plumpy and glowy. And I don't know, you get like a radiance with it, but more than anything, I feel like it plumps my skin a little bit, you guys. Like, perfect example, I think, of something I noticed was I had noticed that when I smiled, I had like some lines that were coming here. It almost looked like my skin was dry in that area. And I didn't get it because I have oily skin, you know, but it was like lines right here. Those lines are gone. Those lines are literally gone. And I haven't had anything done to my face. I noticed when I introduced this that, you know, it took about 3 to 4 weeks, or yeah, about 3 to 4 weeks, but I started to notice that the lines were gone. So it doesn't look like my skin's being pulled tight in this area anymore. It just looks normal. So anyway, if you believe in liquid collagen, I highly recommend this. There's something in here that's good. That's all I'll say. Next one is one that I talked about in my Sephora video. It's the Sephora Clarifying Toner. I love this stuff. It's got niacinamide and zinc. 5% niacinamide and zinc. It's going to purify and minimize the appearance of pores. It just cleans out your pores. I use it every single morning with a Sephora cotton pad, which I highly recommend those cotton pads. I'm kind of down to here now, so I need another one. This stuff is just really good. It reminds me of, it's like a liquid form of the First Aid Beauty like daily radiance pads. It's the same type of product, and it's going to help with very light exfoliation to keep the pores clean, to keep everything nice and smooth, and I like it. The next one is one I use every single night, no matter what. I'm not going to buy it because I have a backup, because that's how obsessed I am with it, but it's the Laneige sleeping mask. It's in the gummy bear flavor, and as you can see, like, it is almost out. I mean, I go in on this every single day. I use it at night. I never ever struggle with dry lips. That's why matte formula lipsticks work really well for me. I do sometimes like exfoliate with like this little Luna, the Foreo Luna silicone brush. So I'll exfoliate my lips in the shower, but I use this lip sleeping mask every night, and you'd wake up, your lips are, I mean, the lip mask is kind of thick, so it doesn't just soak into the skin, but when you wake up, I have to wipe it off because it doesn't come off with just water, and my lips are just really smooth, nourished. I mean, I love it. The next one is a moisturizer that I picked up because my oil during the summer is crazy here in Texas, you guys. And that's kind of a new thing. In California, I didn't have oily skin. So I wanted something light but still moisturizing, because oil, just because you're oily doesn't mean you don't have to moisturize your face. So I picked this up maybe like 6 months ago. It's the Skin Fix Gel Cream, Skin Barrier Restoring Gel Cream. It's so good. This brand as a whole, it's a very simple brand, no scents in anything, very reminiscent to Drunk Elephant, but I think it comes at a better price point. I want to say you save at least 10 or 15 bucks. I mean, it's pretty good. And it's vegan and cruelty free, but it just has ceramides in it. It helps protect the layers of the skin. It helps nourish it. It helps moisturize it if you have oily skin, but it also, if you have dry skin, I've heard people say this is wonderful. Or, you know, they may do like a face oil after this, but it's really deeply hydrating. So I really like this. And the last two products I wanted to talk about is sunscreen. Just because we're headed into the winter months does not mean that you get to skip on the SPF. The sun's rays will still affect your skin. Yes, of course, we want to protect our skin, but it's also anti-aging, you guys. I can't stress that enough. The ones that I need to pick up again are going to be the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen. I love this stuff. It's more of a silicone feel, and it says it's water and sweat resistant, but it goes beautiful under makeup. I just like it, and it does feel like a silicone primer, but it just looks really good. It protects my face, and I love it. This is the Unseen sunscreen. There's a Glow Unseen, but that one's too glowy for me. I don't like it. And then this is my top choice for SPF. I always say that. I can't say that enough. It's so good, you guys. During the summer, I can use this as a moisturizer as well, and my skin will still look really good. But during the winter, of course, I do my, moisturizer. But it's a super light daily wrinkle defense, broad spectrum 30. It's got antioxidants and resveratrol, silky lotion that mattifies with a sheen, natural tint for all skin tones, and it's just wonderful. This says that it's normal for normal or oily combination skin there at the top, but I've seen people talk about this on YouTube claiming that this is one of their holy grails too, and they have dry skin. So I think if you prep your skin well and then go in with this, you're going to absolutely love it. Don't skip on the SPF. Whew. I can talk a lot. I like talking. I am talked out, you guys. That was a lot of information. I hope it was helpful for you. If it was, please let me know down below what you'll be picking up, or what are some of your staple products that you always pick up during the Sephora sale, which I think a lot of us do that for skincare items especially. But yeah, let me know what you'll be getting. Let me know which items are on your wish list. I didn't do my wish list here. I think it's just a bit overdone. If I get everything on my wish list, I'll film a haul video, but I just wanted to give recommendations on products that I knew were tried and true. All right, I'll see you guys later. Love you. Bye.